YTPC. How are you? Bagpiper coming at you from the mod shop, aka Fatty's Garage. It is cold and miserable and wet outside. I was just in shorts and a tank top and 83 degrees Saturday. Gotta love Tennessee weather. If you don't like what's going on currently, just wait a little bit, it's going to change. Halfway through April. God, we are already halfway through April. This year is flying by already. I am smoking some Gatsby Luxury Flake. I love this stuff. I still have 3 tins in my cellar. I think you can still get this. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But it's so good. I love this stuff. Smoking it in my Bones Lightning Bent Bulldog. Because this one is the tightest draw Bones that I have. So it's my Virginia pipe. It also just happens to be the only Virginia Bulldog that I've got. Because the rest of my Bulldogs are all out of Kia pipes. So, the purpose of this video is, I just got 2 tins of something that I've never tried before, but I've wanted to. And then, it was just announced yesterday, today sometime, that, Sutliff has sent out, it was from Sutliff. Said that they just sent out the last remaining bit of vintage Syrian to B&Ms and online retail stores, because their stock is now gone of the Syrian Latakia. And so get what you can, because once it's gone, pretty much like McClellan's, right? So I have vintage Syrian in bulk. I don't have as much as I would like, but I have, I don't know, just under a pound. I'd really like to buy 1 more pound. Maybe. But I didn't have a tin. I've only bought it in bulk. And I didn't have a tin. And I like to keep a tin of everything that I've smoked. You know. Some kind of fancy tin art thing at some point. I don't know what I'm going to do. But that's what I wanted. So I went ahead and bought a 50-gram tin for the tin. And I also bought another one of these artisan blends and a tin of Dunhill Durbar. Just seemed like a good way to round out the order. And the reason I got those, other than wanting the tin, is I'm wanting to do a Milestone birthday box. I turned 34 this year. So the next big one, that not saying that was a big one. I'm just saying I turned 34. So I kind of want to start a box for year 40 and then another box for year 50, maybe 45 and 50. But that'll give me 6 years of age on whatever I put in the 40 box, 11 for the 45, and 16 for the 50-year box. And I want to put a 10 of the Ashton in the box. I'll probably put a little bit of the vintage Syrian in there. I'll probably put one of my 10s of Across the Pond in there. Maybe some Penzance, some Ramsgate. But I want to put a 10 of the Gatsby Luxury Flake in there. And herein lies my dilemma. And I figured I would come to the YTPC and ask for opinions. Leaving the tobaccos in the tin, they still age. But like we saw with the Orly Golden Slice, with the aged stuff versus the new stuff, even though it's aged, it still kind of like maintains its freshness, I guess, and didn't quite age as much as it did after taking it out of the tin and putting it in the jar, which I need to do a follow-up, like a month 3 video on that. But and this stuff has darkened up a little bit since I first opened it, but it has remained good. I don't think it's lost anything or gained anything, but it's stayed the same in the jar, right? So my question is, we know Latakia blends aren't going to age the same as Virginia blends, so they don't matter. They can stay in the tin if it's, the tin will keep it as fresh as possible. It'll still be good. The Virginias, because I want to put, I figured I'd put a couple of Peter Stokkebye stuff in there. Obviously they come in bulk, so it's going to go in a mason jar. But if I put a 10 of the Drew Estate in there, a 10 of Orlick, another Virginia that, whatever, I've got some other Virginias in there, a little bit of, I'll probably put some like 5100 in there. Obviously that's going to go in a mason jar too. So the 2 that are in 10s, do I leave them in 10s? Or do I decanter them into the mason jar, which will allow them to get more age? I guess it'll have that little bit of air transfer. I won't be opening the box, so it's not like they're going to see sunlight or anything, and the tins aren't, or the jars aren't going to get opened. So what do you think? Should you just go ahead and leave the Virginias in the tin? Or would you put them in a jar? Because if you're aging something for 6 years, 11 years, 16 years, you want it to be fully aged, crystal, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? The best possible outcome you can get. What do you think would be the best possible outcome? Interested in hearing what you have to say? getting pretty close to doing another giveaway. I have something really special in mind. I didn't get the stuff that I was supposed to from Boogie Down Piper. Not really sure what's going on there, but so I had to change it up a little bit. But I feel like it's going to be pretty good. I feel like y'all will be excited about it. So that's really all I got. Just wanted to ask, should I leave it in the tin or should I put it in a jar? It won't be this big of a jar either. It'll be one of those little squat jars that you can fit 2 ounces into, and that's it. Because they're not too much taller than a tin. They're about the same size around as a tin, and I'm just wanting to put them in a small box. So that's the goal. Leave them in a tin or put them in a jar. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Really interested in seeing what everybody has to say. I've got I got a pipe that I'm working on that I'm super excited to show y'all. I'm not going to show you yet. I still have a little bit more shaping and sanding to do. I got it down really smooth. It's like 1200 grit. But I feel like it still needs to be shaped just a tad bit more. So a little bit more shaping, a little bit more sanding, a little bit of color on it, and then I can't wait to show y'all. I'm excited. Also got some updates on some tobaccos that I'm making. I've got 3 presses going right now. And then a twist that I'm about to start. It's gonna be good. Got some good stuff coming, guys. Just hang out with me and we'll get there. Alright, I'm gonna finish this pipe. This stuff is really good. Y'all keep them full lit and rolling. Bagpiper out.